Hey there, I'm Lee and I've been a recruiter for almost 20 years. I've worked as a corporate recruiter, head of talent acquisition, and consulted for some of the biggest companies in the world, hiring thousands of people in my career. I got a bit tired of all of the nonsense and frankly dangerous job search advice that online, so I decided to start creating content that actually helps people get jobs. Hit subscribe for more straightforward advice on job searching, careers, and landing your next role. This video is part of a series taken from my book, The No Nonsense Job Search and Career Playbook. If you really want a copy, you can grab it using the link in the description below, or stick around for this video series where I'll be talking through it anyway. So here's the deal. In today's job market, it's not enough to just be good at what you do. You need to stand out, and that's where personal branding comes in. Now, before you roll your eyes and think, personal branding? Isn't that just for influencers and entrepreneurs? Let me tell you, it's for everyone. Yes, even you. Think of it this way. Your personal brand is basically the story you're telling the world about who you are, what you do, and why you're bloody good at it. Whether you know it or not, you already have a personal brand. The question is, are you in control of it, or is it just out there doing its own thing? Here's how I like to think about it. Your personal brand is made up of three key ingredients. First, there's your professional experience, all the skills you've picked up, the achievements you're proud of, and the roles you've nailed. Then there's your values and strengths, what drives you, what you're naturally good at. And finally, there's your unique traits, the things that make you you. Maybe it's your problem-solving style, your creativity, or the way you lead a team. It's about what sets you apart. When you put all that together, you've got a story. And that story, it's what helps recruiters, employers, and even potential connections understand exactly what you bring to the table. Now let's talk about shaping that story into something compelling. Think of your career like a narrative. It's not just a bunch of random jobs slapped onto a CV. It's a journey with a beginning, middle, and where you're headed next. Take a second and think back. How did you get started in your career? What were the big moments? The ones that taught you the most or pushed you to grow? And what's next? What's the big goal you're working towards now? When you piece all that together, you're not just listing jobs, you're creating a picture of who you are and where you're going. Here's a little trick I use. Ask yourself this: what's your thing? What makes you stand out? Are you the data-driven marketer, the operations whiz who transforms messy teams into high-performing machines? Whatever it is, make sure that comes across loud and clear in your personal brand. When people hear about roles in your field, you want them to think of you. That's your unique selling proposition, or USP. Now let's talk about tools. Your personal brand isn't just a great story floating around in your head. It needs to live somewhere. And that's where your CV, LinkedIn profile, and maybe even a personal website or portfolio come in. Your CV, that's the first thing recruiters see. So it needs to clearly show who you are, what you've achieved, and why you're a great fit for the job you're after. Think of it as the quick snapshot of your career story. LinkedIn, that's where you really showcase your personality. It's not just a digital CV, it's a platform to connect, share insights, and show you're engaged in your field. And if you're in a creative industry, design, writing, tech, you might also want a personal website or portfolio. It's a great way to highlight your work and build credibility. And here's a pro tip: your personal brand doesn't stop at LinkedIn. Employers will Google you. They'll check your Twitter, Instagram, maybe even Facebook. Make sure whatever they find supports the brand you're trying to build. If it doesn't, time for a cleanup. Now, one of the most powerful ways to build your personal brand is by positioning yourself as a thought leader. And no, you don't have to be a CEO or some fancy exec to do this. It's about showing you're passionate, knowledgeable, and ahead of the curve in your field. Start small. Share insights on LinkedIn, articles, industry trends, your thoughts on what's happening in your space. If you're comfortable writing, maybe even start a blog. Or if you're more of a speaker, jump on podcasts or webinars. The point is to put yourself out there as someone who knows their stuff. But here's the most important part. Be authentic. Don't try to create some polished persona that doesn't feel like you. The best personal brands are built on clarity, honesty, and showcasing the real you, your skills, your experiences, your goals. When you're authentic, people will connect with your story, and that's when opportunities start to find you. So, what's your story Take control of it, share it, and let it open doors for you. Subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss the next part of the series, where I'll be talking about personal branding and why it's so important during your job search and your whole career. And check out the links in the description where you can sign up for my free newsletter and loads of resources to help you in your career and job search. Cheers.